Welcome to another episode of Tandem Talks. Today is our first guest, Pat Gomboc, also known as Soft Point, friend of the shop, cyclist, tattoo artist. Do you have anything you want to say before we get started, Kat?
No, the only thing I'll add is queer, they, them pronouns. Other than that, yeah, longtime friend of the shop and sweet Owen and yeah, everyone.
Do you want to talk maybe a little to start about how maybe we go back?
Yeah. I have known Owen for, I think since like 2015, so almost 10 years now. I've like known of you since before that, but we met through my ex/current best friend, Casper, who used to co-own Urbane with you guys. And yeah, we just met, became fast friends and like I was a friend of the shop and hung out there a lot. And yeah, just been friends ever since.
Well, it's also funny that we also went to OCAD together. So we like kind of like had this weird like, oh, I know you. I can't remember if we actually had classes. I think we just like were same year though, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and the other like friends through Leland.
Yeah, one of my best friends from childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, this like tangled web of like parallel connections, and we kind of just like bonded over, I guess, bikes.
Yeah.
Bikes.
Yeah, truly. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of bikes, we haven't even riding a bike right now.
Oh my God.
You have a couple interesting bikes. Would you like to tell us a little about that before we, cut deep?
Sure. I technically have 3.5 bikes.
3.5? I don't know about these half bikes.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of parts that I have the intention of doing something with. But my everyday daily driver is an all-city Space Horse that I've had for about 10 years. And I got it at Urbane, and I've made a bunch of slow changes to it throughout the years. I got a dynamo hub on it.
Excellent choice, I might add.
Thank you. It was originally hooked up to a USB charger for like almost all of its time, because I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna charge my phone. And it was just like a fun thing to tell people, like, I can charge my phone with it. And then I realized that was an absolute waste of everything. So.
Yeah, it's just turning your bike into an electrical outlet.
Yeah, which was like
Which is
fun.
cool. It's cool. It's just not as cool as free power for light.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So now I have lights. Yeah, that's my daily driver, and I love it to bits. And then I just had you guys also help me build up a custom midnight special, which is my like, I had some money and I wanted to put it toward a bike, so I got a little fancy with it, and yeah, it's my fun bike, so to speak. It's still like sort of like a gravelly, rail traily, lighter than my current one, so it's my fun adventure bike.
It's also nice plush tires on that thing.
Oh my God.
Comfy, right?
So something else about that, the plush tires, I have like a lot of wrist and arm pain, and I thought that was just my life. I've tried gloves, I've tried whatever, and the plush tires have literally solved the problem.
Yeah, it's actually, I think probably a lot of people don't appreciate how much tires will impact the total ride quality of a bike.
Yeah.
I used to always be like, oh, it's the frame. Like, yes, the frame plays into it, but you can soften up a stiff bike, assuming you have tire clearance.
Yeah. Yeah.
With just nice, thick tires.
Yeah.
And don't run them too hard.
Yeah, exactly. And the tire clearance on it too is great. Like I took it for my first P to A this year, Fair Sandcaster, and the clearance was totally fine. Mud got stuck, but nothing crazy. So yeah, it was great.
That's like a mud fest in the best of times. So
yeah,
it's a torture test of bikes. So before that time, were you like, have you always been into bikes? Or is that something you kind of like got into like when you're older?
Yeah, always been into bikes. I remember the first time I successfully rode a bike, which is a very fun memory that I'm lucky that I have. I remember I was trying to learn on like a bike that was pretty small, and my brother was like ripping up and down on his bike that was bigger. And I was like, why can't I do this? And then I was like, fuck this bike, and took his and was able to like successfully ride it. And I've been loving bikes ever since. I've always had a bike. I don't have a driver's license, and I've never had a driver's license. And I've just always commuted by bike. I'm from Kitchener. I used to bike to and from work, which was very treacherous. I think Kitchener's better now, but and then I moved to Toronto and got ever like increasingly more and more into it. I think getting to meet like other bike nerds who like or like who bike in the same way that I like doing so. So like not necessarily for sport, but
well, yeah, it's funny when we were talking to Russ and Laura at Eurobike.
Yeah.
Saw our other video.
Oh yeah.
Just shameless plug. But we were asking about like what's the difference between cycling back in America versus cycling in Spain, and they're like, oh, it's a sport. So you either have people who are treating it as like this is a sport, we're going out and being sporty and for fitness and for activity, or the other side of that where it's like commuters just kind of riding like a clapped out beater, something really kind of cheap and cheerful just to get around, but not like the like, ooh, let's get a nice fun bike for fun and for leisure and just like literally just ripping around and enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of activity, like, oh yeah, exercise is good.
Yeah.
but
like, there is a
it's
world
not,
like between sport and commuting. Like there's a whole spectrum.
I think is also the most fun because it's like the perfect jumping off point. You like what we're doing right now. Like, yes, we are getting exercise, but like this is also super leisurely and beautiful. And just like, for me, this is like my version of meditation.
Yes.
Like, let me just kind of, feeling stressed or tired or antsy, and then I just like hop on my bike, especially on something like a rail trail where you just like don't have to think, just like watch for cars when you cross roads. Yeah. Which is less frequent than when you're on the road. But.
Yeah, and thankfully, at least in Hamilton, there's like quite a bit of that. Like you can find like what we have here, like a place where you can just turn your brain off and gently ride or quickly ride, whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
it's great.
Actually, I was going to mention too, I haven't ridden a lot around Kitchener, but I've ridden in Kitchener specifically just for the hydro cut for mountain biking, and it is an incredible trail system if you're kind of curious about that area, or if you're in that area. Super fun.
Yeah. Also the Iron Horse for getting around in the city. They have like a really extensive connected like rail trail system to get around by bike now. I'm super proud of Kitchener's infrastructure. It's getting a lot better.
Nice. Is there like, I know like it's like probably hard to choose seeing as you live in this fucking oasis of cycling. Is there anywhere specifically that is like your go-to or your favorite ride?
Honestly, here. It's really great. Like I do this pretty regularly. Like I'll come out and just go as far as I feel like it and turn around and come back. It's nice because I don't like hill climbs. Like I'll do them occasionally, usually if I'm with other people, and then it feels a bit more like we're in it together, and then it feels more sporty. But here, just long, straight, beautiful, quiet.
What I think is interesting about this section here is I've heard that like, yes, chill, but it also can be kind of grueling because it's a very gentle grade that is slight, so you almost don't notice. You're like, why aren't we coasting? Like we're just pedaling slightly uphill for, I mean, I guess you could probably go for what, like 45, maybe an hour in one direction and then turn around. The win is it's downhill on the way back if you just go out and back.
Yeah, it's great. Also, I will say there's a spot here called the Red Hill Valley. Have you been on it?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've actually been on it.
I think you'd enjoy it. It's like a little gravelly, a little bit more like dynamic, but it just kind of goes up the escarpment for a ways, and then it goes all the way down to the water. So it's again just like a really beautiful way to, once you get to it, you can ride in nature down to a beach and hang out there. It's great.
Nice. I love a lounging ride, like a hammock ride or a to the beach or to the river. Anytime I can dip my toes in the water after a ride is perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So beyond just Hamilton, I know you did recently go on a trip. Do you want to talk a bit about that maybe? Your experiences abroad?
Sure. I was so lucky to go on a trip a little bit through Europe. And we started off, so we went on this trip because my partner is a big car guy. He's also a bike guy, so it's a red flag, but like we still love him.
Synergy.
Yeah.
Bikes and cars, better
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, it balances.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to go to a bike race in France, and I was like, cool, if we're gonna do that.
Would you mean a car race?
Sorry, car race.
Race. So I was like, I'm pretty sure it's a car race.
You wanted to go to a
why are we
car
talking
race?
about the cars if it was a bike race?
Car race in France, and I was like, cool, if we're gonna do that, we were sandwiching it with bikes and trains.
Yeah.
Which is my speed.
Yeah.
And so we went to Amsterdam and Barcelona at the end, but Amsterdam specifically was like a dream. Can I swear?
Yeah, you swear. I might bleep you, but
Cool, great.
yeah, definitely swear.
Cool. Yeah, Amsterdam is just an absolute dream come true in terms of like the infrastructure. But it's really quiet. Like when I got off the train there, I could hear birds chirping in the city. And it's because there is no car noise pollution. And like the water dampens the sound and everyone's just really cheerful. And when I first went to Amsterdam when I was 18, I was really scared of all the bikes.
It's very intense. Like they zoom past you and you feel like you're in their way. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't know exactly the flow yet. And it's almost stressful. It's like so bike centric. They're like, oh, I have to really be thinking of bikes like vehicles here.
Yeah, that's it. And I was like, oh, there's like a system here and I don't know it. And so this time when we went, I had that memory of being 18 and I was worried I wouldn't want to bike there. But we did bike there and it was not a problem. Like it's really intuitive.
Yeah.
It's just you bike, you stay on the right, you pass on the left. It's just like anything else. The infrastructure is laid out in a way that it just flows you from one place to another. You don't really have to think about it. It's really not chaotic. And that was really inspiring. And I hope things will get better here. I know Hamilton was just, is going to make use of a grant they were given to like expedite a lot of bike infrastructure. I forget what the exact amount is, but like it's in the millions.
Oh, wow.
Of dollars to like expedite bike infrastructure. So
that's awesome. That's the first time hearing of that. That's super exciting.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good. And like in the past, even just since I've been here, they've, for like the past few years, they've made huge strides with infrastructure. So I'm hopeful that it'll slowly get better.
The bike from some random people in Richmond Hill. I don't know.
They're
it's fantastic.
Around.
The best part is if you want to go fast, you combine your effort. It's actually fast. We're not going fast now, obviously, but
you can also talk to each other really easily.
Yeah, you're in this. We're actually doing a video interview right now.
Yeah.
But no. It's great. We love running into people because it's always
there's
like, what is
time
it?
limit.
We're gonna be shooting for hours, and then my colleague gets to sift through the footage. But yeah, the best part about these things is you're in the same air bubble, so you're not yelling over air to like talk.
And like one person signals. You can have a bell back here. It's great. Yeah.
You can usually find them for not that much. You got to kind of sift them, but you'll get good ones for $1,000. I bought this for $600, but I put a lot of money into it and like fixed it up. But yeah, this is just like a 90s mountain bike tandem from Miata. It's great. I even loaded up. I have a trailer I hook into. It's a full party bus mode when you put the trailer on.
Yeah,
it's a blast.
Yeah, have a great ride.
Have a great ride. So we're talking about, Amsterdam. So I had gone to Amsterdam many years ago, and I was blown away by the infrastructure there. And it kind of like opened my eyes to what's possible. But I think what's almost daunting about it is it's so opposite of what we have here that it feels impossible to ever see here.
Yeah.
But since that time, obviously both Hamilton and Toronto have drastically changed. Because I went there, I guess it was maybe close to a decade ago. Yeah, so it was probably as in my early 20s.
Yeah.
Super fun. And it's funny, we were also in Frankfurt just talking about how like some subtle changes make such a big difference. And I think a lot of people hear these like little critiques about infrastructure and think it's like, you're so ungrateful that you get bike lane. No. I just want everyone to have a fine time. I want to decrease congestion. I want less loud streets.
Yeah.
I want walkable cities.
Yeah.
It's not about getting rid of cars. It's about moderation. Everything in moderation. Like you said, you went on your trip. You're like, cool, car race. That's rad. What race was it? It was a pretty cool race, was it not?
Yeah, 24 hours of Le Mans. Pretty fun.
I was like, that's a very famous
Cars
race. You're
can
not
be
going to
cool.
name drop that?
Yeah.
It's a very cool race. I also feel like it's very reminiscent of a lot of like bike events, too, like 24-hour bike events. I don't know if you've ever heard of those. Sometimes they do like relays that are mountain bike laps.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I saw one in Portland where they just like, I don't think it's 24 hours, but they just like go around one roundabout for hours.
That looks hilarious. I forget, I think it was like a mileage-based thing or something.
Yeah,
or I can't remember if it was.
It's like a lap base.
Yeah, looked very fun. Lots of good costumes. I'll have to find some footage of that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like there's a lot that has to be done, and like it's not just like adding bike lanes will like make things better, because part of the infrastructure piece too is like mixed use buildings, because that way you can bike from A to B. Obviously, like if you live in the suburbs, and you have to like
100%.
drive to Toronto for your job, then you have to drive. But if you get to like
even some simple things, like one of my, and this is a direct call out, having just taken the GO train here, the Metrolinx. Metrolinx is expanding. They're building so much stuff. They're building new stations, and why are they not building level entrances? Entrances.
Yeah.
You have to lift a bike up onto it, and it's like for so many people, bikes are accessibility, and for some reason, there's like, let's definitely keep this like 2 steps above. They have an accessible entrance. They don't think maybe we should just make the whole station accessible.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't have to all happen at once, but I just like, it's so beyond me. Like, why would you not have that?
That's the other thing too, is like,
because that's part of the connected infrastructure.
Yeah. And like bikes as an accessibility piece too, like even if like I didn't drive growing up, because like in what world can I afford a car? Like I couldn't have bought a car. I like gas, monthly payments, like even if you buy like a used one,
absolutely,
it's still expensive. So like bikes are so much more accessible for the common person.
I mean, it's funny too, because I'm so entrenched in bikes. Like I used to be like, bikes are because it's cheaper, and ironically I have a busted ass like crappy car that's just a money pit, and my bikes are like as much as it.
And which is
and
like,
they're so nice. I have a crappy car that's a money pit versus my amazing bike that bring me so much joy every time I touch it.
Yeah. And like they don't have to be either. Like as a final quick note, is like biking is getting potentially kind of exclusionary and expensive. And it doesn't have to be. It's fun if it is, and if people want to do that, but it can be like, you can get every bike is a good bike. This really is like a monkey paw situation where it's like we wished to just ride bikes. And so the monkey paw is like, all right, you get to ride bikes forever.
Main loop that never ends.
Whee!
Oh yeah. Why didn't Google help me before? We were going through some of our kind of generic questions when we were compiling our kind of interview for you, and one of Veronica's questions was going to be, what is the worst thing you've ever smelt while riding by? And I had a good chuckle, because obviously we have a pre-existing relationship, we know each other, and I know things about you. Would you like to know, or would you care to elaborate about why we shouldn't be asking that question?
So I was born without a sense of smell. It is a genetic thing. It's called congenital anosmia. My dad can't smell, his brother can't smell, my grandparents can't smell. So yeah, I've never smelled a thing in my life, which can be a huge benefit with being in a city, period. But I guess biking while riding a tandem, if you're in the back, is also a benefit.
And the follow-up to that was going to be, you had a very unique recipe you told me about years ago, which I feel is very much tied to this condition you have. And would you care to elaborate for our viewers? So
this is something that is like, I think, a determination of whether or not I can be friends with someone is if this is my, like, if they can't take me at this recipe, they can't have me at my best. So it's, you take frozen whitefish, any whitefish, it doesn't matter what kind. You cook it, you add in a can of pineapple tidbits, a can of papaya, coconut jellies, which are these delicious opaque cubes, and then a jar of tikka masala sauce. While that's all mixing and melding, you get a pot and make bow tie pasta, pick it up, add it in, let it all marinate, and then you top it with marble cheese, and it's so good. I've had one friend give it a 3 out of 5 star, which is pretty high praise. They didn't have it a second time, nor did they want it anymore, but I take what I can get.
Yeah. I feel like that is such a memorable recipe. I did remember, I totally lapsed on coconut jellies.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was like maraschino cherries. I remembered papaya and the whitefish, and I was like, papaya and whitefish.
There also used to be okra as a part of the recipe.
Oh, so a little extra slime content.
Yeah, I nixed it as I got older.
Okay.
Banana was also, it used to be in it.
Banana? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I think we got to stop talking about this now. This is definitely not making me hungry.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that
You're
little
welcome.
tidbit. Do you have a go-to karaoke song?
Oh, yes. It is Tribute by Tenacious D.
That's great.
Yep. Yep.
Great choice.
Thank you. I'm great at it. A lot of cock singing and scatting, so it's incredible. Crowd favorite.
Do you have a favorite book?
Ooh.
Or books? You can, you can do a little top list.
So as of late, I had a friend, a really good friend last year. He was like, you need to read this book in order for our friendship to like become what it needs to be, because this book was so important to him. And so finally, after like, I think multiple years of asking, I was like, okay, fine, I'll read it. And it's this fantasy series. The first book that I read is one called Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. And it just opened up a world of fantasy to me.
Wow.
And it's absolutely incredible. Like I've never devoured a book so readily. There's also another book that I read recently that I also am like huge on called Just Mercy. And it's a nonfiction that reads like fiction, written by a Black criminal defense lawyer in the South, in the States. And just about like the concept of mercy and like the criminal justice system and its flaws, particularly pertaining to like youth and like youth convicted of crimes, and how even if a 13-year-old does a thing, if people decide it's bad enough, then they can try that person as an adult. But then it's like, what's the whole point of being a youth? Like, what's the whole point of the system? So yeah, that Just Mercy, Mistborn.
Sorry, and Just Mercy, that was...
that is Ryan...
Was that fiction, or is that...
Oh, it's nonfiction.
It's just nonfiction,
but it
right?
reads like fiction. Like it's a really easy to read
Yeah,
book.
that sounds really interesting. I'd love to check that out.
Incredible.
I don't know what it is. I'm not good with fiction. I think it's because I'm so bad with names.
Oh my God, yeah.
And I didn't figure that out till I was older. I always preferred nonfiction because it's just like, or like more like journal-y type things. It's like I like reading, but stories, I get lost in a story.
Yeah.
Even watching a movie, I have no idea what most of the characters' names are.
Yeah.
The whole time. Watching TV shows, like any Game of Thrones type thing, I'm like, I know there's the white hair people. I don't know who the hell they are.
Totally, yeah.
They do the dragons and stuff, right? Who the hell knows though? Like, I don't know. I'm lost.
The tangerines.
Yeah, it's like some people are face blind. I'm like borderline name blind. It takes me so long to remember names. Actually, that's one thing I do like about social media. It gives me like the helping hand. Sometimes I can like verify what I think someone's name is, which I definitely need.
Yeah, I'm face and name. That's what tattooing's really helped me for. Because if
you
I
just remember someone by their tattoos.
Yeah, I remember them by their tattoo. It's, I guess, kind of like bike stuff too. Like you remember people by their bikes.
I know people for their bikes. Yeah. Actually, a very strange experience is if you ever do like an event, you see someone in their like cycling kit, their sunglasses, their helmet, and then they say hi to you off the bike. I'm like, who the hell is this person? Yeah. I'm like, oh, I spent like an hour riding beside this person, chatting with them, and I just have no idea who they are outside of the bike. Yeah, absolutely. Like memory. You got your focus. Yeah. Just on your left. All right, so this is one of my favorite questions that I feel like I've probably asked you at some point. Cool. And it is, if you could be an animal, what animal would you be? Oh, I would very specifically be a house cat to an old widow. Oh, that's very specific. Yes, I would sit on her lap in the sun. She would give me little pats. She would treat me like a queen, and that's what I would be. That or an otter. Nice.
Because they're just adorable. But yeah, house cat to a widow.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we were talking about books before. Do you have a favorite fictional character?
Ooh. Oh.
Again, you can pass if you don't have one. Like, no shame.
I'm gonna say I don't know that this is like the actual truth if I had time to think about it, but there is a character from the aforementioned Miss Thorne who is just like, oh wait, sorry, this can be movies and stuff too.
Fictional character,
God.
anything.
Okay, have you ever seen Puss in Boots: The Last Wish?
I don't know if I've seen that specific. There's a bunch of those movies, is there not?
I don't know. It's like in the Shrek cinematic universe.
Yeah, it's like the Shrek universe, but I think I've seen it. It's not super old though, right?
No.
Yeah.
So,
actually, maybe I haven't seen it, but I know the character.
Do you know the character Perito?
Ooh. I'll definitely look it up while we're looking through this. We'll put it on screen. I'll be like, oh, of course, but no.
Also, literally every time there's one trail that I ride elsewhere in the city with friends fairly often, and every time we go to a specific spot, it's kind of like a Pavlov's dog thing where it pushes me to talk about this movie. So I talk about this movie as often as I can. But there's a character named Perito who is a little apple-headed chihuahua. And
yes.
And he's just like...
I needed that visual description.
Yeah,
of course.
Little apple-headed chihuahua who's just like kind of like broken and like has not had an easy life, but he's the most optimistic, wholesome, thoughtful, and caring character. I literally cried thinking about him the other day. Like, I remembered he existed, and I was like, I was just having a day, and I was like, I'll never be as good as him. Like, I'll never be as pure and as thoughtful and as caring. And yeah, so like if I could be a fictional animal or a fictional character, Perito from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, for sure.
Nice. Similar character-based, or perhaps this is a more actor-based thing, and this is, who would play you in a movie about your life?
Okay, so one of my early, trans memories is being at a cottage, not my cottage, I'm not fancy, but being at a cottage with my family, and we were playing that game, and it was some board game, and my answer at that point, I was 9 or 10, my answer at that point was Jack Nicholson, and I was me, little 9-year-old, 60 pounds soaking wet. It was Jack Nicholson would play me in a movie.
Oh my God. So especially old Jack Nicholson makes it even more absurd.
I know, it was old Jack Nicholson too. I saw
but
some
even older
in.
now. Isn't he? He's in his 80s now.
Oh, he's an ancient man.
He's an ancient man.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, Jack Nicholson.
Great answer.
Was my answer as a 9-year-old. At this point, I don't know. I am very opposed to thinking fondly about a single celebrity or actor.
Yeah, I'm not into celebrity particularly.
Yeah. So there's no one where I'm I would love if this person played me. I feel it would just be
yeah.
I'd point at someone on the street and be they'll do a great job. I'm not that special. They'll be fine. Yeah. Kind of thing. Someone really tall. That's about it.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to give me a sweet tat?
A sweet tat?
A tat.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Is that too weird to do? If you don't want to do that, that's fine.
No, we can do
I'm
that.
Also definitely sweaty, so it's just going to bleed probably.
It might also go onto your skin.
Yeah, it probably will.
Yeah. Are you going to take this off?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I have a delightful. So I've never had a tattoo before, so I just want to, feel the experience. I'm just going to move my shoulders out. Actually, this is going to be the highlight reel of watching me try to take a shirt off while putting both of our lives at risk.
Great.
Actually, we should probably cross this road first.
Oh, great call. I can also remember we're on a tandem. We can buddy system. I can help you.
Yeah, you hold the bars while I take my shirt off. You said you like to work collaboratively, right?
I do like to work collaboratively, but I feel me drawing something off the cuff on a bike that is not meant to fit me. I don't have confidence in what I can and cannot do.
Woo. All right, I'm gonna hit the button. Actually, we don't need to. No button.
Woo.
The cars will thank us for that. All right.
All right, you can absolutely make a request, and It will likely not be good.
I'm gonna make the request because this is all I would have wanted as a child, and it's something with a skull. There you go.
Something with a skull.
I need some skulls. You can go big if you want.
Okay.
Go big and bold. Don't do the opposite of what you're used to.
Okay.
None of these fine lines.
No.
I should have just got you a giant paint marker. Oh, you can add some bike flavor for
Oh,
the
don't
channel.
you worry.
I'm gonna coast as much as possible so you don't get jostled. I have another marker if you need it, just in case.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be incredible.
This actually feels very nice. It's like, you know, like, draw on my back. Can you draw on my back?
Yeah. And this is exactly what a tattoo
Except-
feels like.
Yeah, just a little felt tip. I'm not very good with needles. This is like a great parallel experience. Oh, it's just gentle tickles on your back.
Oh yeah, this is my best work yet.
I can't wait to see. It's also really weird just imagining what it is from just feeling little tickles.
You can ask me questions while I do this too.
I'm just being zen, trying not to crash, just staring at the road ahead. Also, there is an intersection coming up again. And funny enough, I may pull over after this.
Yeah.
I mean, if you need, I'm assuming some time, but also no rush, no need to go longer. Okay, here we go. We got a little transition here. Prepare yourself. Ooh. We good? Oh yeah, we're good. Nice. The fact that you continued perfectly while we did the road crossing is impressive.
This is, I'm locked in.
You're a drawing and tandem professional.
It's also fun to like draw when it's not consequential. Like,
What do you mean? This is gonna be stained on my body through the shirt for like maybe a day. This is probably gonna go up on the wall of the shop. We're gonna frame it.
This is like
Owen's sweaty undershirt.
This is such a fun, I feel like I haven't done an exercise like this since art school. Like it's just fun
you
and
and a
free.
strange thing. Draw on my back while we ride. Yeah, reminds me of art school exactly.
Yo.
I remember I used to do this all the time in art school. I'd get on a tandem bike and have my friend draw on my back.
You know, first year, it's always the first year drawing class that they make you do this.
We weren't in drawing class together, were we?
I don't think we ever had a
You
class
would have
together.
you would have remembered because I was broken hand kid.
Oh, I remember hearing about Broken Hand Kid.
Yeah, I'm broken hand kid, and I just kept showing up, and my hand seemingly was getting progressively worse because I broke my finger severely a week or two, maybe a week before I started OCAD, and then I ignored it and realized it was definitely very broken after a couple weeks. Then got an X-ray, then went to surgery, got a rebroken set. And then, like, I was showing up the first day with like a tensor bandage wrapped around my pinky, and then I was getting like these like weird like surgical support things, and yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So people were like, "Dude, what are you doing to your hand?" Because it looked like it was somehow degrading, but I was like, "No, I just ignored it. It was just like not okay in the first place, and I just like acted like it was."
Yeah. Yeah, I think I remember you telling me about that. I could never.
Just rotating.
All right, work of art. I'm gonna call it complete.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll put the marker back here.
Sure. Yeah. Wherever makes sense. Well, I'm sure the camera sees that well.
Oh, wait,
Crooked
wait.
finger.
That's actually pretty perfect. It's a little wonky, but you can see.
That is so good. Oh, I love it. All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Put your feet down.
Yeah, both feet down.
Should I ask you those questions, Kenny?
Up to you.
Story? We can do it. Maybe once we get on the real call, just the silly questions in case.
Cool.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Feet on. Tighten that, and I'll button up my shirt a tiny bit more. It feels weird to...
Oh, Angel, you look so
cat.
little.
Oh, it's cute.
Hi.
So, we're gonna do a little speed round.
Sweet.
A little this or that.
Yeah.
So feel free to elaborate if you like.
Great.
So first one would be coffee or tea?
Coffee.
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 That's the right answer.
Yeah,
Tea
no
is
elaboration
wrong
needed.
answer.
Yeah.
Still or sparkling?
Did you say steel or sparkly?
Still or sparkling? Like water.
Still. I hate sparkling. I don't want that shit near me. I hate it. Yeah, still.
See, if I have to choose one, it's still. Oh, this is the big hill. Okay.
Oh, shit.
All
right.
Waffles or pancakes?
Oh, waffles. Pancakes are ass. Yeah.
Okay, I think I know this answer already. Cats or dogs?
Oh, I mean, cats in my personal life, but
Yeah.
I want dogs around me as well.
Yeah. I love having dogs around me that I don't have to take care of. On
That's
your left.
exactly it. Yeah. Yeah, I want to be like an aunt to dogs, but
Yeah.
I don't want them to. I don't want the care.
Yeah.
Kind of like kids. I like when they're around, but I don't want to
Yeah.
care for them.
It's great when you get to visit and just be like, you know,
Yeah, fill them full of treats and send them home.
get them all hyped up. All right. Pins or stickers?
Oh my God, pins, you monster.
Sorry,
Pins
that
all
one's
fucking
clearly,
day.
that's another one where I just know too much.
Yeah, this
I'm
is
sorry.
a deep cut. I have a phobia of stickers. Occasionally I'll say that and people will be like, oh, because you don't know, like it's too much commitment to put them somewhere. And I was like, no, literally, like don't touch me. I don't want it near me. People give me stickers a lot, that's fine. Because I take it, I put it on my station, it's done with. But like, yeah, pins.
It's funny too, because like I even mentioned this while we were preparing the questions. I was like, haha, I know things. So like obviously it's set up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then Veronica puts this into the questions and I was like, that's diabolical. And then I was like, I should bring something for Kat. Of course I completely forgot to because I was just like scrambled. And I was like, oh, stickers. And then Veronica's like, what? And I was like, oh, no, not stickers. Can't be stickers. I don't know if this is super relevant for you or if you
Yeah.
feel strongly about it, but bike packing or touring?
I guess bike packing. Like, I like loading shit up.
Yeah.
I don't have that strong of an opinion, but like bike packing is really fun.
Yeah. I think just riding bikes is fun. I
Yeah.
don't think you need to, you know, there's often very like divisive things in cycling. And I think just riding bikes and riding bike with stuff, I think lends itself to that like lifestyle stuff we're talking about earlier.
What do you consider the difference to be?
I mean, for me, bike packing tends to be like no pannier bags generally. So it's more like lean and like minimal-ish.
In my brain, it's the other way around because I'm like you're packing stuff.
Yeah, I was like, I would have coined you for more of a tourer.
Yeah, okay, in this case, tour.
Yeah.
Tour. And I learned something new today.
Hot tub or swimming pool?
Kind of neither.
Ah, that's a
like-
common answer apparently.
Really?
That's what Russ said. Russ was
Yeah.
like neither, and I was like, interesting. I
Yeah.
don't feel strongly either, but I like them both, I guess. But I don't like crave them necessarily.
Yeah, I feel like if I have to swimming pool, there's more freedom, but yeah.
Cake or pie?
Oh, pie, all day pie.
Yeah, again, right answer. Thank you. It makes me mad when people say cake.
I know it's wrong.
It's wrong. Super salad. Soup or salad?
Oh, sorry, super salad. Ooh, man, both are really good. Both are
Yeah.
good for different reasons. I don't think I can pick.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Final question. Bikes or cars?
Oh, bike.
Boom, high five.
Bike. All day.
So before we wrap up entirely,
Yeah.
you do quite a bit of advocacy stuff here in Hamilton, and I don't have any like direct question. I just thought you may want the opportunity to talk a bit about it. Like I know you also lead rides, but yeah, did you want to maybe tell our viewers a little bit about that?
Yeah. I'll start with the rides. So myself, along with a big group of wonderful people, sort of like co-run a ride called Nice Day Cycling. And it's for women, trans folk, non-binary folk, basically like generally underrepresented groups in cycling, because it has the potential to be like a pretty bro-y sport. And we're just here to like have a really nice time and encourage people. And like through this group, we've been we've made some really big strides. Like a bunch of us did P to A this year for the very first time, which like I don't know if we would have felt so, I know I wouldn't have felt so emboldened without it. But yeah, we have that every Monday at 6 p.m. Nice Day Cycling. It's a really, really rad group. We're trying to do, oh wait.
Oh, you're good.
We're trying to do like workshops and stuff as well. So we got some stuff going.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're gonna slow down, shift down. This is the scariest maneuver on a tandem. It's like turtles when they get stuck on their back. Tandems when they have to do a U-turn.
Did you know that my last name Gomboc
Means turtle stuck on back?
No, but there's a shape called the Gomboc that was discovered, and that shape mimics turtles' shells so they can right themselves.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah, so fun fact, Gomboc.
Nice.
So the other thing that I would want to talk about that I like doing in Hamilton is I try to dedicate time to stuff that I think is good, as I think most people should. And I'm very privileged and I do have some time. So I volunteer at a place called The Hub pretty regularly, and they're like a drop-in center for like unhoused folks, people who use substances. It's a super, super low barrier place. It's one of the rare few places in the city that like offers as much as they do and is as low barrier as they are. And it's really, really rad. I've been there for a handful of years now and would recommend everyone check it out and support it. And
what's the best way people can support it? Is it mainly through financial donations or like donations of time?
Financial donations are great. Donations of time is also great. It's also just a really good way to get to know the city. Like you get to meet the people that you will run into on the daily. So like, and it kind of, for people especially moving from other cities who may feel uncomfortable in some of the visible poverty that Hamilton has, it can be like pretty, like it can make you feel a bit more comfortable. Like you actually talk to the people and you know the people and you realize that they're not a threat kind of thing. So
yeah, absolutely.
There's many good reasons to do it. But yeah, the Hub is great. And then I guess, oh yeah, and they have an Instagram. You can check them out, donate time.
We'll link it.
Yeah. And, and lastly, I tattoo at a shop called Sleepy Bones. And I have a few other incredible coworkers who are so talented and inspiring. And I feel so lucky, and it's a great job, and I get to be around incredible artists. So yeah, that's the only other pluggable thing I got.
Nice. Well, Kat, thank you so much for spending some time with us and telling us all about your practice and all your fun quirks about stickers and whatnot. And thank you for putting up with my horrendous captain ability today, just losing ourselves in the forest.
It was rad.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got rad.
Yeah. I'm glad we got rad too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And I think we're gonna wrap this off with a little beer at our local brewery, Fairweather.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye. All right. Nice.
Woo. Flawless.